gotta hit the streets. We gotta teach the people, yeah. We gotta hit the streets. We gotta teach the people, yeah. We gotta hit the streets. We gotta teach the people, yeah. We gotta hit the streets. We gotta.
Yeah, we gotta teach the people. Let them know we ain't equal. Steph Curry at the free throw. The greatest ain't no Greek though. To hell with Alex. I'd rather be teaching in Dallas. Tell Jake to put down the balance. We the best ain't no pallet. Proverbs 121. Wisdom craft ain't no fun. Preparation down goes the sun. Now it's time to rep for the sun. Cut them up, build them up. Holy Ghost, fill them up. All the fish, reel them up. False doctrines, rip them up. I feel like stepping in Act 7. You know all prophets go to heaven, showing Israel our transgression. Women in pants, this today's lesson. Girl, that's abomination. Silent killer of our nation. You a mama and daddy bacon, all because of fornication. Die. You know the Lord is spiritual. If you don't take heed, then the punishment's physical. Yeah. But you know they don't hear me though. Yeah. You know that they hear me though.
We gotta hit the streets. We gotta teach the people, yeah. We gotta hit the streets. We gotta teach the people, yeah. We gotta hit the streets. We gotta teach the people, yeah. We gotta hit the streets. We gotta hit the streets to go prophesy. You be at home logging on, talking junk from the screen, man. You ain't really trying to wake up your people. Christmas still ain't good for us. After all y'all Easter hunt, tried to get you out your way, but you still ain't here nothing. Liquor stores in the portions, fill my neighborhood for more coffins. Had some good times to fight off, then I've been woke for seeing the walking. I really believe in this, so I'm happier when teaching God's words. Now I'm in the books and feel like a nerd. Incline your ears if you're really trying to learn it. That's on the whole thing. Say what you list, but I see no change. Damn shame, still teach the pain. My nation still got a lot of games. So I'm apt to teach because it keeps what I'm trying to reach. Feel shit, but it's time to leave. I'm a king, I don't give a damn how you feel. Name talking that rich on the ground, yeah. Going all across the world, but we out here. If our people in the town, then we out there. If you talking about the work, then we about that. Well, you never gonna stop that. No, you can't stop that. If you got a problem, then you might as well drop that. Gotta get some topics. Why would we try that? Well, you know, I'm try that. We gotta hit the streets. We gotta teach the people, yeah. We gotta hit the streets. We gotta teach the people, yeah. We gotta hit the streets. We gotta teach the people, yeah. We gotta hit the streets. We gotta hit the streets. We gotta teach the people, yeah. We gotta hit the streets. We gotta teach the people, yeah. We gotta hit the streets. We gotta teach the people, yeah. We gotta hit the streets. We gotta.
Shalom, Facebook. Shalom, people. Shalom, Miss Bob. We'd like to welcome you to another episode of. We'd like to welcome you to another episode of Transformation Tuesday. Tonight, we'd like to give all praise and honor to Ohio by Hashem Yeshua, Royal Walk. And for those of you not familiar with the Hebrew, that is all praise unto the Most High. In the name of Christ, as well as the Holy Spirit. Once again, we'd like to welcome each and every one of you to another episode of Transformation Tuesdays, where we are striving to transform into the image of the greatest Israelite who ever lived, Yeshua HaMashiach, who the world knows to be Jesus the Christ. We'd like to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy schedule. We know you could have been anywhere in the world today, so due to you decide to join us, we do not take your time for granted. We pray and hope that you guys have had a wonderful week so far. We pray that all is well with you and your families, and that you came in with a nice heart, with a heart to learn, and the spirit of love and humility. So we just thank the Most High just for another opportunity to be before you, and we ask for all those who are with us tonight. Would you come in? Would you please like the video? And if you have a Facebook page, would you please share this link on your Facebook wall? We have been accustomed to doing these lives on Facebook, and now that we transition to YouTube, a lot of people don't have an opportunity to see it. So that would be greatly appreciated if you guys would share that link on the wall, the water, and thank you. Before we get into tonight's lesson tonight, I have a couple of announcements I want to go into real quick, but let me get a disclaimer for those who may be joining us for the first time. On Transformation Tuesdays, we always say that we're working and striving to transform into the image of the greatest Israelite who ever lived. His name is Yeshua HaMashiach, who the world knows to be Jesus the Christ. You understand? And so, as our efforts to strive to transform into that image, we are steadily dying to ourselves in the flesh and becoming who we are. So we becoming who He has called us to be. So we are allowing this opportunity for people who want to learn more information to ask us questions about their journey. And so during this time, if you have any questions about your journey, about if things that you're trying to learn, you can ask those questions. But we always ask that you don't ask a question about a particular pastor, particular church, particular camp, anything of that nature, because we don't use this platform to attack, but to edify the people and to glorify the name of the Most High. You understand? So we have a lot of questions that have been submitted prior to starting, but we will take live questions and we will answer those in the order in which we receive. So I want to put that out there. So quickly, as far as announcements are concerned, we want to thank all of those once again who joined us for the Feast of Dedication. And a lot of people have been hitting us up about when the next event we're going to have, and that's going to be celebrating Purim in February. Now, we have right now scheduled to do this feast day on February the 15th, the Saturday before Purim, because Purim is February the 17th, sundown through the 19th sundown. But because it's during the middle of the week and a lot of people, it's hard for them to attend the event during that time, we're planning on doing it the 15th, the Saturday before. But we're looking at some things, and we may end up doing it on the 22nd, which will be the Saturday after Purim. Okay. So, but we will be finalizing that by the end of this week. Just after things we got to work out. But as of right now, it's February the 15th, and we want to thank you for all those who already RSVP'd. But we will be finalizing that no later than this Sabbath. Okay. Also, Sabbath lesson will be Friday night at 8 p.m. And for those in the Anson, Richmond County, Union County area, we are in the process of working out a venue in which we will be having Sabbath services every Sabbath. So be on the lookout for that. I wanted to let that be known because we are in the process of getting that started. For those in the Charlotte area, we also are in the process of working some things out. And we're looking to do this as early as January of having Sabbath service on Saturday. So make sure you be contacting us and be tuning in for information on that we will be gathering in this Charlotte area on the 2nd and 4th Sabbaths. But our plans is to be gathering every Friday night here in Waynesboro, North Carolina. Also, this coming up Saturday, for those in the Laurel Hills, Laurinburg, Hamlet, Rockingham, Holt County, all those surrounding areas, Lumberton, we're going to be gathering with Shining Light Temple in Laurel Hill, North Carolina, this Saturday at 12 p.m. And the address there is 8981 Old Wire Road, 898 Old Wire Road, and that's in Laurel Hill, Laurel, Hill, North Carolina. And that name of that temple is Shining Light Temple there in Laurel Hill. So if you need any information on that, please inbox me, and we will be there Saturday. This Saturday, coming Saturday at 12 p.m. We're looking forward to meeting the people in that area. If anyone wants to drive in and meet us there, we would love to meet you guys there as well. Lastly, we're in the planning stages with my brother Anthony and sister Prophetess Douglas of 7 Day Harvest Ministries. We're in the process of doing another Awakening conference, similar to what we did in September, the Bible in Black Conference. But this year will be called Identity Crisis. And that conference will be taking place April the 17th through the 19th. April the 17th through the 19th. And it's going to be at the, one second here, let me get this, pull this up. It's going to be at the Red Lion Hotel in High Point, North Carolina. Once again, it's going to be the Identity Crisis conference, and intended to reach out to our Christian brothers and sisters. April the 17th through the 19th, 2020. And it's going to be at the Red Line Hotel in High Point, North Carolina. The address is 135 South Main Street in High Point, North Carolina. It's 135 South Main Street in High Point, North Carolina. Now, as we always do, the division of my brother Anthony Douglas and all those that are part ministries, we always have our conferences and events that we do for free. We never want money to be an issue for people who desire to attend the events. So we always make sure that as the ministries and partners, we come together and make this thing free for everyone who desires to attend. As Better Day Ministries being one of the partner ministries, my attempt is to make sure that we do our part in sowing to make sure that we can reach as many people as we desire, as the Most High desires. Now, you know that you never see Better Day Ministries comes on preaching. You never see us come on with PayPal accounts, Cash Apps. We never ask people for money. That's not what we do. But I think as I've been doing this since 2007, we've been traveling since 2012 as a ministry, and we've been bringing out this truth on here. In February will be 3 years. We've never done that. So I think we have enough of a reputation to know, to let people understand that when we actually come out and ask for people, that we have shown that we do the works and we are doing the things, and we don't have any ill will or malicious intent with the money that we're asking you guys to sow. So we always do what we call giving on a purpose. And what we're trying to raise is $1,400 to go towards this conference. This conference is going to be a very, very expensive conference. My money is just part of what's going to go into it, because we have people that we have to fly in. We have people we have Israelite leaders and groups coming from all over the country. We have to pay for the venue. We're going to be feeding everyone a big lunch on that Saturday. You know, it's a lot of things that go into it behind the scenes that people don't know about. So as Better Day Ministries, we just trying to sow our part into it. So I'm asking my deacon now, he's going to be putting the Cash App in there. And from now until March 31st, we're asking 14 people to give $100, 24 people to give $50, or we asking, what would that be? 28 people to give $50. Okay. All right. So it'd be 14 people. No, it's 14 to give $100, 28 people to give 50. And then what would that be? 42 to give 50? 28 to give 50? Okay, something like that. Well, whatever the math is. 48 is 50, 14 to give 100, 28 to give 50, and then that would be 32 to give $50. To give 25, right? Yeah, so whatever the case may be. But whatever the Most High lays on your heart, that is the Cash App in which you can send it to. We're going to be doing that from now until March 31st. So even if you don't have it right now, Most High lay it on you, or you get the opportunity to sow later, we would love for you guys to help us out and assist that. And this is why everything we do, we have the word to back it up. Shalom to one, good seeing you with us tonight. So give us Matthew 14, Salakia, Philippians 4, and start at verse 15. This is what we call giving on purpose. Philippians 4, 15 through 19.
Now ye Philippians know also that in the beginning of the gospel, when I departed from Macedonia,
go ahead.
No church communicated with me as concerning giving and receiving, but ye only.
Now, so he's talking to the church of Philippi, and he's telling them, when I went into Macedonia to give them what I gave you and the other churches, you was the only church in which gave, and to make sure that Macedonia got what you got for free. Go ahead.
For even in Thessalonica, ye sent once and again unto my necessity.
So when he would serve the church of Thessalonica, the church of Philippi, notice he's pointing out the church of Philippi gave not only in Macedonia, but they gave twice when he was in Thessalonica. Go ahead.
Not because I desire a gift.
So he said, I wasn't asking because I was desiring a gift. Go ahead.
But I desire fruit that may abound to your account.
So ladies and gentlemen, the Most High is going to provide for this one way or another. So I want to make that clear. He's going to provide for it one way or another. But what we're doing is, because we've sown into you guys for 3 years, we're asking, we're believing that the Most High will be able to sign fruit to your account. Go ahead.
But I have all and abound, I am full, having received of Ephroditus the things which were sent from you, an odor of sweet smell, a sacrifice acceptable, well pleasing to God.
So he said, listen, because of what you've done, I am overflowing. And that overflow that you gave to me is a sweet savoring sacrifice, like it is when we used to burn the offerings on the altar to the Most High. Go ahead.
But my God shall supply all your needs according to his riches and glory by Hamashiach Yeshua.
Now, so that's what we call giving on purpose. A lot of Christians like to quote that verse saying that the Most High will supply their needs. But you see, when you go back to verse 15 and read it in its context, it's only that promise is only to people who sold money to help someone get what they got for free. Well, for the last 3 years, ladies and gentlemen, we came here on Tuesdays for maybe last year, right? But every Sabbath for 3 years. And we've never asked for anything. So now you have an opportunity to sow and help your brothers and sisters around this country who will be coming in for this conference get what you got for free. And we'll be able to say to you that my God, a higher will supply all of your needs according to his riches and glory. You understand? So Shalom, Miss Vanita, good seeing you on tonight. So on Tuesdays and on Soulful Sundays, from March 31st, we will be promoting this. You will not see us mention it on the Sabbath. Okay, because we don't do anything dealing with money on the Sabbath at all. So anytime you have an opportunity, the Spirit hits you or whatever the case may be, that is the Cash App. You sow into it, and we'll make sure that we send you a confirmation that we got it, and we'll go forth and we'll bring this truth out on April the 17th to the 19th and honor all of you who helped us do this work. Now, we took up enough time with the announcements. Let's get into the Q&As for those who are just coming on with us. If you have a question or anything tonight, we have a lot of great questions already been submitted. But if you do have a question, submit those questions and we will get to those questions in the order in which they come. So let's start out with 1 Corinthians 3, verse 18 through 20, and get Romans the 12th chapter will be the foundation scriptures for tonight. We ask all those when you come on, please hit the like button for us. And if you have a Facebook account, please share this on your wall for us. The water, and thank you. Shalom, Juice Man, good seeing you on with us tonight. 1 Corinthians 3 and Romans the 12th chapter will be the foundation scripture tonight. So let's start out there in verse 18.
Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God.
So, ladies and gentlemen, anything you think you know outside of the word of the Most High, he calls what?
Foolishness with God. For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness.
So people who think they got it all figured out are really destroying themselves by their own arrogance. Go ahead.
And again, the Lord knoweth the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain.
They are vain. That means nothing. All this stuff that people got, all of these degrees, they're destroying their own selves with their own knowledge. Now let's go to Romans 12. And let's look at verse 1 through 2 there.
I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God,
unto the Most High,
which is your reasonable service.
So, ladies and gentlemen, never take what you're doing here as a burden or an obligation. What you're doing here tonight and learning this truth and asking these questions and getting your answers in your own private study time is your reasonable service. Go ahead.
And be not conformed to this world.
So notice what he said over in 1 Corinthians 3, when he said that the wisdom of this world was foolish to the Most High. Paul says here, what?
Be not conformed to this world.
So don't be conformed to this world.
But be ye transformed.
Be ye transformed.
By the renewing of your mind.
This is why we do Transformation Tuesdays, while we're transforming in the image of the greatest Israelite who ever lived, Yeshua HaMashiach, who the world know to be Jesus the Christ. Go ahead.
That ye may prove.
That we may prove to the rest of the world.
What is that good?
What is good
and acceptable and perfect.
That means mature.
Will of God.
Will of the Most High for his sons and daughters. This is what the Q&A is for. Not to attack, not to get wisdom, not to debate, not to argue, but to be able to prove what?
The perfect
will
of God.
Will of the Most High. Now, so if anyone has questions, once again, you can ask those questions. We will answer those questions in the order they came. Let's start here with question number 1 tonight. Why every night on the news, all we see is murder, chaos, and turmoil? Where is God in all of this? Why every night on the news, all we ever see is murder, chaos, and turmoil? Where is God in this? Now, let's go to Haggai, the 2nd chapter. I need you to hold that, and get Amos 9. So this is a question that I've been getting from people over the years. This question right here came from an older gentleman, not really a person that goes to church, someone that, not a bad person. But when we try to tell them about the goodness of the Lord and all of these things, with them seeing what's going on in the news every night, rioting and protesting and people dying and all of those things, chaos all over the world, it is hard for people to believe that there's a loving God in heaven. You understand? Now, the Spirit is telling me we got to prove this first to understand what happened. Hold that, get Job 9:24, and get Matthew, the 4th chapter. I think we should be able to explain this real quickly, but we got to make sure we open this all the way up. You see, when the Most High gave this world, ladies and gentlemen, to Adam, when Adam decided to do outside of what the Most High told him to do, Satan became the god of this world. Okay? And the Most High was able, through Abraham, to develop a seed of people called the children of Israel, in which he established as his own. We're going to be addressing that in a later question, so I'm not going to go deep into that. You understand? But what we must understand is, let's get that Job 9:24 first.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
The earth has been given, ladies and gentlemen, into the hands of the wicked. Now let's prove that. Let's go to Matthew, the 4th chapter. Okay. Let me show you what I mean. That the only country in the past, I'm not talking about today, in the past, that was under the rulership and guidance of the Most High, or higher, was the nation of Israel. That is no longer the truth. Now all nations are under Satan, and I'm going to prove that. Matthew, the 4th chapter, and start there at verse 8.
Again, the devil taking him up into an exceeding high mountain.
That is Yeshua HaMashiach, who the world known to be Jesus Christ. Go ahead.
And showed him all the kingdoms.
You showed him what?
All the kingdoms of the world, and the glory of them.
And the glory of them. Go ahead.
And said unto him, all these things will I give thee.
He said what?
All these things will I give thee.
All these things will I give thee.
If thou wilt fall down and worship me.
Y'all see that? He couldn't give him Israel. Israel already belonged to his father. But every other country in the world belonged to Satan. You understand? This is what most people in the religions do not teach and give an understanding to the people. So when you see all this chaos in the world, all this bad stuff happening, you say, man, why ain't God doing nothing? No, because man gave it to God. Gave it to the Satan. You understand? Now, just so that was understood, now let's go back to Haggai. Because this question really needs a lesson to break all this down. But I want to stick to what the answer or the question of the particulars of the question. He said, why every night all I do is see on the news is murder, chaos, and turmoil? Where is God in that? Well, what you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, is what you're seeing is the Most High. That's what you're seeing. But we're going to give you the explanation what the Christian church won't give you. These guys that keep bringing in, talking about some hope and everything's going to be all right. They're lying to you. They're just holding you out, sucking you dry until they get all the juice out of you until they go out the back door with the money bag back to Rome. Okay, so be careful. So when you go into your churches, they're not going to give you those answers because they don't have it to give. right? So let's go to Haggai 2 and Amos, the 9th chapter. Juice, I see your question. We're going to get to you in a minute. Haggai 2, so let's start at verse 6.
For thus said the Lord of hosts,
right?
Yet once it is a little while, and I will shake the heavens.
I will shake the heavens.
And the earth, and the sea,
right?
And the dry land.
Go ahead.
And I will shake all nations.
And I will shake all nations.
And the desire of all the nations,
right,
shall come. And I will fill this house with glory, said the Lord of hosts.
So he's shaking them up. He's breaking them down. And as he's breaking them down, I'm going to show you in Amos 9 who he's raising up. And that's why he said the glory will return to this house. And now the desires of the nation are going to be like, yo, we want to be with you guys. Like I said, there's a whole lesson that comes out of this question. But go ahead, verse 8.
The silver is mine.
That's the children of Israel.
And the gold is mine.
That's the 12 tribes. Go ahead.
Said the Lord.
Said the Most High.
The glory of this latter house shall be greater than of the former.
Matter of fact, Salakia, so start at verse 5 so they can understand that it's talking about the children of Israel.
According to the word that I covenanted with you when ye came out of Egypt, so many spirits, so my spirit remaineth among you. Fear ye not.
And so listen, I'm with you. That's what the Most High is saying. Listen, my spirit is with the 12 tribes. No matter what they're telling you, okay? My spirit is with the 12 tribes. Fear ye not. And so you see in verse 6 and 7, he says, I'm going to shake the nations, right? And your glory will return to you. You understand? Watch this. Now read verse 9.
The glory of this latter house shall be greater than of the former, said the Lord of hosts.
Right.
And in this place will I give peace,
right, said
the Lord of hosts.
You see that? So the Most High said, listen, I'm tearing them down in order to bring you up. Watch this. Let's go to Amos 9. So by the Christians believing that the Jewish people are the children of Israel, and by them going back in 1948, and ever since then the earth got worse, now you're confused because you thought, it was going to get better. No, that's proof that they are imposters. Because when the real children of Israel go back, that's when peace comes. The imposters went back, things got worse. Right? Watch this. Now, so let's go to Amos 9. Watch this. Amos 9, start at verse 8.
Behold, the eyes of the Lord God are upon the sinful kingdom.
That's Rome. Go ahead.
And I will destroy it from off the face of the earth.
I'm going to destroy it. That's a whole nother precept we need to go through to tell you who's going to do that. But that's Hamashiach. Go ahead.
Saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, said the Lord.
But the house of Jacob, I won't destroy them. Notice, I didn't include anybody else in that. Go ahead.
For lo, I will command, and I will shift the house of Israel among all nations.
See how? Over in Haggai, he said he's going to shake the nations. In order to shift something, so what you got to do? You got to shake it up. And he says, I'm going to do what?
I will shift the house of Israel among all nations.
Right.
Like as corn is shifted in a sea.
Right.
Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth.
So why, ladies and gentlemen, you notice, while everybody else is in turmoil and scared and running around, doing drugs and wilding, what are the children of Israel doing? Now, the people in the church, they're in there talking, I don't know, and they have no answers. But Israel is like this. See that? So for my brothers and sisters in the Christian church who don't want to step into Israel, who don't want to keep the law, who don't want to keep the law, statute, commandments, this verse is for you. Verse 10.
All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword.
Read that again.
All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us.
You see that? Y'all have to wait on the rapture. Man, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be horrible. You're waiting on white Jesus to come back and get you. He ain't coming. He's already went out the back door with the money bag. And I know that may offend some people, but it's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. Watch this. Verse 10. Verse 11.
In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David.
Notice what I said, how he's shaking them up, how the nations are falling. He's doing what?
Raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen.
That is fallen. So we fell, the nations rose, now the nations are falling, and Israel is rising. We're going to be dealing with that in the precept in a minute. Go ahead. And the question ahead, and go ahead.
And close up the breaches thereof. I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
Now you see that? So that's what's going on. That's why it's happening. Okay? And until you get to a place that's going to tell you and teach you what's really going on, there will continue to be turmoil, there will continue to be anxiety and uneasiness and depression among the people because nobody's telling them the truth but Israel. You understand? Now, read that question that Young Juice put in.
I learned recently that hunting for sport is a sin according to Leviticus 17:3.
Break it out, Duke Juice.
If a person hunted animals and sold the meat for profit, would that be sin or is this okay?
That is okay. As long as they are hunting the food, like say for instance, like you got a lot of people who hunt deer and then they hunt deer and they sell deer to their local neighbors who eat the deer. No problem with that. They go out and fish and then they come back to fish markets and sell the fish and people eat the fish. No problem for that, right? As long as what they're doing is being consumed in order to provide food for someone else and they selling it, there's no problem. There's no wrong for that. But if you're out there just putting up stuff just for yourself, putting it up on your wall, taking pictures and posting it, that's when it's sin. Okay. Great question, Juice. Great question. Because all the times somebody has to do the hunting. When you go down to the fish market, when you and your daddy go down there and get them turkey necks and turkey wings y'all were talking about the other day, somebody had to take the turkey out, right? He had to be hunted down, right? But as long as it's providing food for our people to eat, for the people in the community to eat, there's nothing wrong with that. All right, next question. How do we deal with being constantly underestimated? It's like people can only see where I was and they don't acknowledge who I am today. I made a lot of mistakes in my past, and now I'm walking in the truth, and the only thing people can see is want to talk about in my past, and not who Christ is making me today. And that's the way it is for all of us. So let's go to John, the first chapter. I need you to hold that and get Mark 6. Let me read that question again. Young little brother on his way. Proud of this young brother, doing some good work, learning, hitting the scripts. He says, how do we deal with being constantly underestimated? It's like people can only see where I was and they don't acknowledge who I am today. Well, my brother, I'm going to show you that not only are you dealing with that, but Hamashiach had to deal with the same thing. And then I'm going to show you what he told us to do because of that. Let's go to John, the first chapter. I need you to hold that and get Mark, the 6th chapter. Watch this. John 1, Soup, and let's start there, verse 44 through 46.
Now Philip was
Bethsaida.
Now Philip was of Bethsaida, the city of Andrew and Peter. Philip findeth Nathanael and said unto him, we have found him, of whom Moses in the law and the prophets did write, Yeshua of Nazareth, the son of Joseph.
So they came, so his man came to him like, yo, bro, we've been in the scripts and the Messiah is here, Hamashiach is here. We found out who Moses was talking about. And look at what his answer was.
And Nathanael said unto him, can there any good thing come out of Nazareth? Philip said unto him, come and see.
You see that? So Hamashiach was looked down upon because of where he came from, right? So understand that this is a part of life. People are going to label you from where you come from. They're going to label you based on your education. They're going to label you what parents you came, or your parents are, what side of the tracks you was born, your education, your skin tone, your size, your clothes, anything people can find that don't fit there what they think should be, they will judge it. And it happened to Hamashiach too. Okay? So don't feel bad about that. But watch this. You need to be focused on the fact of this, and you need to accept this. And this is one of the things that I struggle with for a long, long time. Let me just be transparent right here. I had to get this down in my spirit. I had to have a lot of people, reiterate this to me because it was difficult. Because, listen, do you realize I've been preaching since 2007? I've had my own ministry since 2012. Bro, we done went to summer everywhere traveling. Me and Jay was gone every weekend for 4 years straight. You understand? Ask me how many events I did in my hometown since then. One. And the person that I had to pay the church to do it, even though everything we was doing for free. You see that? We are out here been waking people up all over the world, literally the world, literally. And I can't get any pastors, anyone from around here in Anson County to sit down and have lunch with me, talk about this truth. So that's just a reality. I'm going to show you this in here in Mark 6 chapter. So you cannot let these things affect you. You got to be focused on doing the work. Mark 6, and let's start at super verse 1.
And he went out from thence and came into his own country,
right?
And his disciples followed him,
right?
And when the Sabbath day was come, when the Sabbath day was come, he began to teach in the synagogue, and many hearing him was astonished, saying, from whence have this man these things? And what wisdom is this which is given unto him, that even such mighty works are wrought by his hands? Is not this carpenter the son of Mary, the brother of James and Joseph, and of Judah and Simon? And are not his sisters here with us? And they were offended at him.
And they were what?
And they were offended at him.
And that offended them. Just because they know him. He's doing the works. They're acknowledging that what he's bringing out, they ain't never heard. The works and the healings that he's doing, no one has ever seen. But because he was just another dude from around the way. But ain't nobody but Lavender and Eric, boy. Boy, that's John the Callahan, boy. That's what that is. He a deacon well. They ain't even got no building. We hear it all the time. You see what I'm saying? This happened to a Mashiach. He was underestimated. He's just a carpenter. I know his dad and his mama. Who he think he is? He ain't did nothing. And look at what happened as a result. Because what Yeshua said. Verse 4.
But Yeshua said unto them, a prophet is not without honor, but in his own country.
Everywhere else you go, people will see the gift in you. They're going to see the talent in you. They're going to acknowledge the work in you, and you will get honor. But what?
And among his own kin.
But among his own kin,
in his own house,
you won't get no honor. And if you're waiting on it, it ain't coming. Okay? You understand? I ain't going to be no one to my family but Van for the rest of my life. No matter how y'all see me, I have accepted that I ain't going to be nobody else but Van. Iris and Jean and Van and Big Lee boy. That's all I will ever be. Cuz, Big L. That's all I will ever be. And I've accepted that. Hamashiach had to accept that. And I'm telling you, you got to accept that. Why? And as a result of them not accepting him, look at what happened. Verse 5.
He could there do no mighty work, save that he laid his hands upon a few sick folk and healed them.
Couldn't even do no works. So you're not losing when people underestimate you. They're losing. Watch this, verse 6.
And he marveled because of their unbelief.
And it's sad. It's sad in the Yeshua. Dang, I can't even do no work in my own crib. You know his brothers, James and Judah, they got books in the New Testament. Do you understand? And they didn't even believe him until after he rose from the dead. So my brother, you can't let this get to you. Now let me leave this with you. Romans 15:1. Romans 15:1-3. This is what I got to leave with you so you can understand that you don't allow that gifting and being underestimated to leave you arrogant. This is what you have to do as a result of that. Romans 15:1-3.
We then that are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak, and not to please ourselves.
Not to please yourself, You're strong in the word. You're getting strong every day. You got to take what the Most High is giving you and bear the infirmities of your weak, of the people who don't know no better. You got to pray. You got to continue to live it. You got to continue to give them the example of light in your community. You understand? You don't use your strength to please you, your knowledge to please you. It's about everybody else around you. Verse 2.
Let every one of us please his neighbor,
right,
for his good to edification.
For his good and for his edification. Go ahead.
For even Hamashiach pleased not himself,
right?
But as it is written, the reproach of them that reproach thee fell on me.
He said the sins of the people that sin against the Most High fell on him. He didn't have to deal with his sins. He dealt with the sins of the people. And you're not going to have to deal with your sins because your sins have been forgiven. You've been baptized. You're walking in this truth. But you're going to have to bear theirs, and you're going to have to give them something, a light out of that darkness. So keep striving, y'all. You got it. Let's keep going strong. Now, for those with us, if you have questions, please put them in, and we'll answer them in the order we give. Going on to the next question. Next question. I have often heard you speak of your lack of political involvement. Many of the people who vote, run for office, or have organizations that lobby and protest for our rights are believers in Christ. Do you not believe that God is behind their actions and through their actions can bring change to our people? I'm going to read that again. It says, I've often heard you speak of your lack of political involvement. Saying about, I tell people I don't vote, and they shouldn't vote. That's what he means. Many of the people who vote, run for office, or have organizations that lobby and protest for our rights are believers in Christ. Do you not believe that God is behind their actions and through their actions bring change to our people? Now, let me address the whole thing of lack of political involvement, what most people don't know about me. You can hear my cousin and my little brother to vouch for me. Have I not spent summers registering people to vote? Have I not spent years involved in the NAACP, the Black Caucus leadership, volunteered on political campaigns with governors, lieutenant governors, senators, representatives, and congressmen? So I did the work. A lot of people and I know you don't know that, brother, but a lot of the people who attack me for my beliefs today have never been involved as much as I have. You understand? They ain't never been a part of an organization. They ain't never volunteered on a campaign. They ain't never registered one person to vote. Their only time of being involved in a political campaign is going to vote in November. I spent summers going from house to house, standing in the heat, registering people to vote. I've been in campaigns. I've traveled all over North Carolina. I've worked on all type of campaigns. Erskine Bowles, Beverly Perdue. You know what I'm saying? I was part of the Obama first election. I've done the work as far as that. But when I came into the truth, not the truth, but the Christ, understanding that these people are not for me and not for my people, I no longer was involved. So this is the reason why I'm able to speak on something, because I was there. I'm not speaking from it from the outside. You understand? I know what's going on. You have Christians right now supporting, calling themselves Christians, calling themselves followers of Christ, who are supporting candidates who believe in same-sex marriage, abortion, and have participated and voted and lobbied for things that are against their own people's growth and advancement. But they don't know that. Hillary Clinton said her hero was Margaret Sanger. I'll leave it at that. If any of you don't know who Margaret Sanger is, Google her. If anybody would put their name by a person who said that's their hero, woe unto you. Now, let me address the question. He says, do I not believe that God is behind their actions and these people with Christ, and through the actions can bring change to people? I'm not willing to say that the people who go vote and people who are running for office and who have organizations, I'm not going to say they're not with Christ. You would never hear me blaspheme and say somebody ain't with Christ. I'll never say that. That's just me don't have the information that we currently have. I'm not going to say that the Most High ain't going to use them. Won't say that either. What I will answer is why we don't. That's the only thing I can answer. I can't speak for another person. I'm just going to tell you the position of a better day. I'm going to tell you the position of Israelites that I know and why the information that we have and we the understanding that we know that standing outside of a picket line will never do anything because the people that you're asking to give you rights never took it from you. They don't have rights to give you. You understand? That's the problem. That's the problem. Protesting the government for civil rights is like standing outside of McDonald's mad because they won't earn your Whopper coupon. That's the equivalent of that. Arguing, saying you should give me my free Whopper at McDonald's. You're never going to get it from them because they don't make Whoppers. And this country never was built off of rights for our people. They didn't take it from us. They can't give it to us. You understand? So this is the issue. So let's go to Isaiah 1 and let's go to Deuteronomy 10. So the reason that people are choosing to vote and choosing to protest and choosing to be involved in asking the American government for rights is because they don't know who they are. That's the problem. That's just like Bill Gates' son losing his memory and standing out panhandling on the street because he don't know who he is. As soon as he remember, oh yeah, I'm a Gates, he's not standing on the streets anymore panhandling. And as soon as Israel remembers who they are, the protest sign will go down, the Black Lives Matter shirt will go off, the Republican Democrat ID will be ripped up. All that changes as soon as you figure out who you are. Isaiah 1 and get Deuteronomy 10. Let's bring out verse 2 and 3.
Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord hath spoken. I have nourished and brought up the children, and they have rebelled against me.
They have rebelled against me. Go ahead.
The ox knoweth his owner.
So the ox knows good and well who he belongs to. Go ahead.
And the ass his master's crib.
The donkey don't got no confusion about who he belongs, where he lives, who his master, who feed him. Go ahead.
But Israel do not know.
Israel don't got no idea who they is. Go ahead.
My people do not consider.
Israel right now calling themselves Black, African American, Latino, Hispanic, Native American, Cherokee, Mexican, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Jamaicans, Bahamas, and Haitians and Africans. They calling themselves everything else but Israel. They don't know. So because they don't know, they got to go to ask someone to give them something that they don't understand that they already have. Deuteronomy 10 and 15. Watch this. Work it out.
Only the Lord had a delight in thy fathers to love them.
He had a delight who?
In thy fathers.
In the American founding fathers.
In thy fathers.
In the founding fathers of Christianity.
In thy fathers.
In the fathers that said it, the early Christian fathers that they talk about.
In thy fathers.
Now it's the founders of the Protestant Reformation.
In thy fathers.
Go ahead.
To love them.
To love who?
To love them.
Go ahead.
He chose the seed after them.
He chose who?
The seed after them.
No, he chose everybody.
He chose the seed after them.
Go ahead.
Even you above all people, as it is this day.
When?
As it is this day.
When?
As it is this day.
To this day. Okay? That didn't change. Now, they say, nah, man, that changed after that. Let's go to Jeremiah 31 and 35. I want to show you that it is to this day. So the problem is, my brother, who asked that question, they're asking these things and they're doing these things because to this day, they don't know who they are. I don't do those things, and the people that I know don't do those things because this day, we know who we are. Jeremiah 31 and 35.
Thus said the Lord.
Thus says Lavender.
Thus said the Lord.
Thus says Sam.
Thus said the Lord.
Thus says a better day.
Thus said the Lord. Which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinance of the moon and of the stars for a light by night.
Go ahead.
Which divided the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name.
Higher. Go ahead.
If those ordinances depart from before me, said the Lord,
said the Most High,
said the Lord, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever.
Was the sun out today? Is the moon outside? Dig, look out there and see if you see the moon, man. You see the moon? That means go back. Now, that's all I needed. That's all I needed. As long as the sun came out today, right? And the moon's out there right now. Now read that last part of that again. You chose what? 10, yeah. Chose what?
Only the Lord had a delight in thy fathers to love them, and he chose their seed after them.
To win. Keep going.
Even you above all people.
Even what?
Even you above all people.
Above, equal to everybody.
Above all people.
Above all people.
As it is this day.
This day. So the Most High said that his children was a special people above all people. The fact that our people are fighting for equal rights tell me that they don't know that. Okay? See, what you must understand, my brother, is that the reason why your oppressors who gave you the religion of Christianity teach a gospel and a doctrine that's saying all men are equal, because they realize that they're not. So being equal to you is a come up for them and a downgrade for you, my brother. That's what our people don't understand. So every time you go to them and say, yo, give me equal rights, you're only promoting their agenda. You being equal to them is a come up for them and a downgrade for you. Now, let's go to Jeremiah 30. Because we know who we are, we now also know that the white man, the so-called white man, never enslaved us. They just benefited from our slavery. You understand? They're not the reason we went into slavery. So this is why Better Day Ministries and the ministries that we rock with, we don't have no hatred for the white man. We preach to the white man just like he's one of us. We're not looking at him like, oh, but look what you did. No, we understand what happened. And our brothers and sisters who don't know that are either asking them for rights or calling them the devil. Ignorance, one way or the other. But those who in the understanding of what's going on, what I'm about to bring out here in Jeremiah 30, understands that no nation, whether it be the so-called white man, so it be the so-called Muslims, anybody that offended us and killed us and raped us and genocided us, never did it. We're going to show you who did it. Jeremiah 30. Let me show you what happened to us. Start there at verse 3. Watch this.
For lo, the days come, said the Lord, that I will bring again the captivity of my people.
You're going to do what?
That I will bring again the captivity of my people, Israel and Judah.
Israel and Judah, the 12 tribes of nation of Israel. Judah is Benjamin, Levi, and Judah that was in the west coast of Africa. The 10 tribes were in the nations of North and South Africa predominantly, but all scattered all to the four corners of this earth. And he started now to wake us up and in the process of bringing us back to our identity, then back to our land. This process began. Go ahead.
Said the Lord, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it.
They shall possess it. What happened in 1948 is not this. Okay? What is happening now is this. Go ahead.
And these are the words that the Lord spoke concerning Israel and concerning Judah.
Right.
For thus said the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace.
Right.
Ask ye now and see whether a man do travail with child.
So he says so much pain, so much terror. They seeing men scream like a woman who having a child. Go ahead.
Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for the day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
It's the time of Jacob's trouble. Go ahead.
But he shall be saved out of it.
But he shall be saved out of it. So what is going on right now, ladies and gentlemen, is not racism. It's not oppression. It's a Jacob's trouble. That article today, what Nick sent to us today, where the so-called Native Americans were sterilized, destroyed so that they wouldn't produce. It's Jacob's trouble. We see down there at the border what they're doing to Issachar, what they're doing to Zebulon down there, the so-called Latinos. What happened to our brothers and sisters in Haiti? What happened to our brothers and sisters in the Bahamas? What happened to our brothers and sisters in Puerto Rico, the so-called Ephraim? So-called Puerto Ricans is Ephraim with the hurricanes. It's Jacob's trouble. The young boy the other day that had died from the flu on the floor and his vomit with a piece of aluminum foil laid on top of him. That's Jacob's trouble. You see that happen to the Jewish people? Where every other day we get laid out in the street, where the government put crack in your neighborhoods, abortion clinics in your neighborhoods, pump guns and heroin in your neighborhoods. Is that going into the Jewish communities? Well, we're filling up their prisons. That's Jacob's trouble. You understand? Watch this. Go down to verse 12. Let me see who we said did to us.
For thus said the Lord.
Thus said the Most High. Go ahead.
Thy bruise is incurable.
Your bruise is incurable.
And thy wound is grievous.
Mm-hmm.
There is none to plead thy cause.
There's none to plead thy cause. You can't go to the ACLU. You can't go to the NAACP. They're not going to plead your cause. You can't go to the Democrats. You can't go to the Republicans. Did Obama plead for you? What did he do? Give me one thing that he did. Every time someone asks me about it, I ask them, give me one thing in your life that changed during the 8 years of Obama's president. Stale face. Give me one thing. And then when somebody can give me a couple of hypothetical things, how's that going for you now that Trump's there? Well, it went away. I bet it did. Watch this. Verse 13, verse 14. 13, go ahead.
There is none to please thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up.
Right.
Thou hast no healing medicine.
There ain't no healing medicine. There ain't no education, no amount of money, no affirmative action, nothing. What has it done? Look at your communities. What has it done? All the voting. What has it done? They dying every day in South Chicago. Look at New Orleans. Look at what happened. Look at all the babies that's been aborted. What voting stopped that? What protesters stopped that? They got the dude on the news who they said so-called killed the dude Trayvon Martin. They got him on the news right now, saying that he's suing Trayvon Martin's family. Who you think the idea was that to put on the news? They showing this dude going around signing Confederate flags and bags of Skittles, and they promote it on the news. Who runs the news? Have they heard your voice yet? How you think that make the people feel? You see what I'm saying? You see, my brother, when you take your feelings out of it, and you just really look what's going on, has your voice been heard yet? Watch this. Go ahead.
All thy lovers have forgotten thee.
The Democratic Party don't care nothing about you now. And they shut down through Clinton, shut out all the factory jobs, took down all the trading opportunities in the high schools where you could work in there and get apprenticeships and pull the funding out for you to do that. They don't care nothing now. He done played the sax. Y'all done gave him the title as the first black president. Hey, he getting money now, man. They could care less. They ain't none of them What happened to the Republican Party? The party of Lincoln. You know, Reagan the one who put the crack in there, right? All the lovers was gone. All the guys who gave us the music careers, they done took the money, took the music deals, and done got us to sit back this wicked music and promote homosexuality and fornication. Look at our communities as a result of it. All of our lovers have abandoned us. We fought to get into the schools. We fought to get into the universities, and they turned us into atheists and agnostics. Now people don't believe the Bible no more. You see how it works, my brother? You take your feelings out of it and you just look at it. Systematically, everything that they told us to fight for, the same thing they turned as a weapon to destroy us. All the lovers and abandoners, go ahead.
They seek thee not, for I have wounded thee.
Who did it?
I have wounded thee.
Who did it?
For I have wounded thee.
Go ahead.
With the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude.
Why did he do it?
For the multitude of thy iniquity, because thy sins were increased.
Because thy sins were increased. That's why it happened. Okay, that's what happened. Deuteronomy 28. That's why it happened. No other reason. Now, lastly, let's go to 2nd Ezra 6. So what I need you to see here is once you know who you are, then you understand who did it. And now you know who did it, then you know that there's nothing you can do to change the power until the Most High gets time to shift the power. And this is what we're going to show you here. 2nd Ezra 6. Let's look at verse 7 through 10. But hold on, for those who don't have an apocrypha, you go to Google and you put in the number 2, ESDRAS, and put chapter 6 in. Google that and you'll be able to follow along with us. 2nd Ezra 6, and let's look at verse 7 through 10.
Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of times, of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first,
right,
and the beginning of it that follows?
So Ezra's asking the Most High, said, listen, show me when the world is going to end and the new kingdom which you promised us will begin. Watch this. Verse 8.
And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, right, when Jacob and Esau were born of him.
Now, what that is telling us, ladies and gentlemen, that the end of the world began with Abraham. See, what people don't realize is, ladies and gentlemen, there was a long time of living that man did before the flood. Okay. Long time. Okay. Long time. Thousands of years. Okay. Most of it's a long time. Between Adam and the flood was thousands of years. Okay. Not millions of that madness that they teach you in science, but thousands. Okay. Then there was thousands of years between Noah and came up right around the flood. You had about a 1,000, somewhere around in there. You know, not quite 1,000, but it was like, 600, 700 years. Noah lived like 100-something years before the flood, and I think it was like 600 something when he died. So, and Abraham was born on the tail end of that, right? So you had another 600 years before Abraham was born, right? Then, between that time and the children of Israel was another 400 some years, so that's 1,000. By the time we came out of Egypt. And then you got another about 2,000 added on that. So this has been a long time. But the end began with Abraham. Now, go ahead and read that.
When Jacob and Esau were born of him, right? Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
So when you go into Genesis 25, you can see that as Esau came out first, Jacob held onto the heel of Esau. Watch this, verse 9.
For Esau is the end of the world.
So Esau would be ruling at the end of the world. Go ahead.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
So that's for all of you people out here saying that the so-called white man is Japheth. If the so-called white man is Japheth, we're in trouble. Okay, we're in big trouble because everybody says the end. So if the so-called white man is Japheth, we got a long time because I don't see Japheth getting on top for a long time. Read that again. He says what?
For Esau is the end of the world.
So the Most High said the way you know when the end of the world is that Esau will be ruling. Go ahead.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
And Jacob will be the one who is ruling when it's following, which lets you know who owns all the banks. Jewish people. Who's all the real estate? Jewish people. Who's basically the head of the United Nations? Jewish people. Who owns Hollywood? Jewish people. Who owns all the media? Jewish people. So it can't be Jacob. You see that? Because the Most High said in his word that Israel wouldn't be ruling at the end. See that? Now, verse 10.
The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand.
So he said everything that's going to happen is going to happen between that heel and Jacob's hand. Him falling, Jacob rising. So therefore that lets me know, because I understand who I am, protesting, voting, praying for the presidents, praying for leaders, ain't gonna change nothing because it's already been prophesied. You see that? Huh? All praise to the Most High, Mama Benita. All praise to the Most High. So that's the reason why we don't do that. So you have to do what you feel best for you and your family, but that's why we do what we do. Now, next question. Okay. Next question. From my time in college and through my job, I have a lot of Gentile friends. Most of them are Christians, so when I first came into the truth, things were a little rocky. Through time, some are willing to hear me out, but it's difficult for them because it goes against their families and church beliefs. Do you have verses to encourage them of the importance of embracing the truth? I'm going to read that again. It says, from my time in college and through my job, I have a lot of Gentile friends. Most of them are Christians, so when I came into the truth, things were a little rocky. Through time, some are willing to hear me out, but it is difficult for them because it goes against their families and churches' belief. Do you have verses to encourage them of the importance of embracing the truth? It's a great question. Great question. Because one of the things that's rocky during this time is that when you have Gentile friends, especially like we do, who I went to school with, and some of them I worked with in the ministry, throughout the years, pastors and all kind of people that I've worked with over the years. And so when you come into the truth and understanding that who you are, those conversations can be a little complex, a little complicated. People don't understand, and people think, sometimes when you're calling out a system, sometimes people take the attack personally on them. But one thing I can always say is that the only people who's ever called me racist is family members, not Gentiles. You know what I'm saying? Like, my Gentile friends are still my friends. When they see me, we still dap up and hug. I seen one of my classmates the other day. She gave me a hug and everything. She's on my friends list, so evidently she wasn't offended. But my family, on the other hand, they call me racist. But, that's another lesson for another time, right? So, so that's pretty good. I'm glad to hear that you still are remaining friends because, listen, we all understand together. So the brother asked for verses that will encourage them to embrace the truth that we are the children of Israel. So let's go to Jeremiah 16. I need you to hold that and get Isaiah 56. So let's get some scriptures for you who have Gentile friends, something that you can share with them to help them embrace this truth, because it's going to be difficult. I mean, we had a young lady, and she's gone now, so I know she ain't watching lessons. We had a young lady last year, who started watching our lessons. She was way out of state somewhere. She was all on the lessons, and she was learning from us and hitting our peoples up and getting understanding. And but her family didn't too much embrace it. She was a Gentile, and her family didn't embrace it. And then out of the blue, she was gone. We went and checked on her, and she had blocked all of us and deleted all of us, and we were like, wow, But I knew it came because she started sharing what we were saying with her church members and her family, and she had told me that it was getting a lot of pushback. This is going to be difficult, man. If it's difficult for our people to accept, it's surely going to be difficult for Gentiles to go back and tell your parents, hey, yo, guess what? He's not white, he's black. I ain't trying to hear that. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be mindful of that. So this is a great question. I was glad this got sent to me today. And so I want to make sure we encourage our Gentile brothers and sisters. So let's get Jeremiah 16 and Isaiah 56. Jeremiah 16, and let's get verse 19.
O Lord, my strength and my fortress, and my refuge in the day of affliction.
Right.
The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit.
Right. So what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, when Yeshua HaMashiach, who the world knows to be Jesus Christ, comes back? The Gentiles are going to come and be like, yo, man, Master, we didn't know. Like, for real. One of the things we try to remind people all the time is that in order for this hustle that happened in Psalms 83 to take place, they didn't just have to lie to us and tell us that we was Israel. They had to lie to their own people. You understand? That's what people don't understand. So when you get mad, when you paint all Gentiles with this wide brush and just start calling everybody wicked, you know what I'm saying? You have to understand that, hey, that's not accurate. That's not accurate. So you can't do that. They've been lied to too, B. They pastors went to the same theological schools. No, these people got lied to as well. So they're going to come to Yeshua, the descendants of the Gentiles, and they're going to go there and they're going to say, hey, we inherited lies. Our fathers taught us lies. And they're going to be able to repent. So you want to make sure when you give this to the Gentiles, like, listen, you want to be one of those guys. Hopefully you'll be what we're about to show you here in Isaiah 56. But you don't want to wait till the last moment and be like, yo, we got lied to. So that's one of the verses you can go to and show them what their descendants will be saying. Let's also go to Isaiah 56. It takes Brandon said we lied. That's how I said what's up. So let's go to Isaiah 56. And you can also get this to him as well. Isaiah 56. And so let's start at verse 1.
Thus said the Lord, keep ye judgments and do justice, for my salvation is near to come, and my righteousness is to be revealed.
So whatever is you're learning, that go for Gentiles as well as Israelites. This truth that you're coming into, keep this. Don't fall away from it, because their salvation is coming. It may seem like it's taking forever, but all is going to be well soon and very soon. You may not see it in your own time, but your children may. And you need to be living it now as if it can come tomorrow. You understand? You need to be on this thing right now, right? Verse 2.
Blessed is the man that doeth this.
What do what?
That doeth this.
And
the son of man that layeth hold on it.
So this is the people that will be blessed. Go ahead.
That keepeth the Sabbath.
That do what?
That keepeth the Sabbath.
That keepeth the Sabbath.
From polluting it. And keepeth his hand from doing any evil.
See that? So the only Gentiles and Israelites that will be blessed are those who are keeping the Sabbaths and not breaking the law. See that? What's verse 3?
Neither let the son of the strangers that have joined himself to the Lord speak, saying, the Lord have utterly separated me from his people.
So this is what you need to give to your Gentile friends. The key thing here is, what did they do on that first part? He says what?
Neither let the son of the strangers that have joined himself to the Lord.
That has joined himself to the Most High. How do you join yourself to the Most High? By keeping the Sabbaths, Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, as well as the holy days. You must denounce the holidays of Christianity. You must denounce the religion of Christianity, Islam, whatever the traditions of your families. You have to denounce that and come hold it to the families. And then when you do that, you will be able to not say what? Read that again. Verse 3.
Neither let the son of the stranger that have joined himself to the Lord speak, saying, the Lord have utterly separated me from his people. Neither let the Enoch say, behold, I am a dry tree.
And this is the Enoch is the one without children. So he said, listen, the ones that are with me, keeping my Sabbaths, keeping my law, you don't never have to say this. You're going to be right here with the people. Watch this. Verse 6. Yeah, go down, verse 6.
Also the son of the stranger that joined themselves to the Lord to serve him,
right,
and to love the name of the Lord.
So love what?
And love the name of the Lord.
Now, let's get that name, Sue. Let's get that name, because this is important. Because in the church, they just say God. No, no, no. You better know what God you're calling on. Let's get that name. Exodus 3, verse 13 through 15. Bring it out.
And Moses said unto God, behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, the God of your fathers have sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, what is his name?
What is his name? Go ahead.
What shall I say unto
What
them?
shall I say unto thee?
And God said unto Moses, I am that I am.
Ahia, Ashur, Ahia. Put that in there for me, D. Ahia, Ashur, Ahia. Go ahead.
And he said, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am,
Ahia,
have sent me unto you.
Go ahead.
And God said moreover unto Moses, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, the Lord God of your fathers, right, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, have sent me unto you.
Right.
This is my name forever.
How long?
Forever.
How long?
Forever. And this is my memorial until all generations.
So my Gentile brothers and sisters, you must make sure that you're calling on the name of Ahia. You see that? You see that? This is very important. Now let's go back to Isaiah 56. Read that verse 6 again.
Also the sons of the stranger that joined themselves to the Lord.
Join themselves to the Lord. Go ahead.
To serve him and to love the name of the Lord.
To love the name Ahia. Go ahead.
Everyone that keepeth the Sabbath.
Keeping the Sabbath. Notice you have to keep the Sabbath as well. Go ahead.
From polluting it and taketh hold of my covenant.
Taketh hold of my covenant. That covenant is with the children of Israel. Hebrews 8, verse 8 through 10. So you have to have that. You have to recognize that Israel is the people. You can't be going follow this Christianity stuff tomorrow. And we're all the same. No, no, no. Go ahead.
Even them will I bring to my holy mountain and make them joyful in the house of prayer.
Right.
Their burnt offerings and their sacrifice shall be accepted upon my altar.
Go ahead.
For my house shall be called an house of prayer for all people.
For all people. Now, lastly, let's go to Matthew 25. So this is what's going to happen. What we're going to show you here in Matthew 25. This is what's going to happen to the Gentiles who either accept that the children of Israel are the people, and then we're going to show you those who reject that we are the people. It's one way or another. So these are scriptures that you can share with your Gentile brothers and sisters who are struggling right now to embrace the truth. You need to show them what's at stake here. Matthew 25, and let's start here, verse 31.
When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. And before him shall be gathered all nations,
all the Gentiles,
and he shall separate them from one another, as a shepherd divided his sheep from the goats.
Sheep on one side, goats on the other. Go ahead.
And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left.
See that? Now, last time I tried to bring this out to a Gentile pastor, he said, oh, they mean all of us. Keep reading. Verse 33.
And he shall set.
No, verse 34.
Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand,
on the right hand, the sheep, go ahead.
Come, ye blessed of my father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundations of the world.
So anytime an Israelite try to come to you and say, well, man, the kingdom is only for Israelites, you bring them to that verse right there. It's also prepared for the Gentiles. Go ahead.
For I was a hungered, and ye gave me meat.
Right.
I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me in.
You see that? Notice the fact that I was a stranger. So that meant I wasn't a Gentile. That's why you just got to keep reading. Because when they refer to the Gentiles in the Old Testament, they call them all what? Strangers. Go ahead.
Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me.
Right.
Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee a hungered, and fed thee, or thirsty, and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger, and took thee in, or naked, and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick, or in prison, and came unto thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these brethren.
You done it to who?
To one of the least of these brethren.
You done it to who?
To one of the least of these brethren.
Who is the Israel? Who is the Yeshua's brethren? Israelites. See that? Now, man, you're kind of stretching it right there. Now, you're trying to stretching it a little bit. Let's prove it, D. Because you know we always prove everything, right? Let's go to Isaiah 49. Watch this. Make sure that's proven. About 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be established. I mean, that should be clear right there, but just in case, right? Just in case. Let's go to Isaiah 49, start at verse 22.
Thus said the Lord God, Behold, I will lift up my hands to the Gentiles, and set up my standard to the people, and they shall bring thy sons.
They shall do what?
Thy sons in their arms, and thy daughters shall be carried upon thy shoulders, upon their shoulders.
What else?
And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers.
Right.
Thou shalt bow down.
They will say what?
And they shall bow down to thee with their face towards the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me.
You see that? You see that? So I just wanted to make sure that was clear, that I wasn't interjecting that. Christ will bring all of the Gentiles who took care of his people, and they will be rewarded by going into the kingdom. But, go ahead, back in Matthew 25. Verse 40.
And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these brethren,
my brethren,
ye have done it unto me.
You see that? Go ahead.
Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand,
right?
Depart from me.
Depart from me.
Ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepare for the devil and his angels.
Prepare for the devil and his angels, which means, for my Gentile brothers and sisters, if you're on the left side and you wasn't keeping the Sabbaths, you wasn't keeping the holy days, that means your religion is of the devil. I didn't say it. Yeshua did. You can't put that on the vendor, because that's why I took you to Isaiah 56 and showed you the qualifications first. That for the Gentiles that were with him will love his name, keep his Sabbaths. The Gentiles that are not, read verse 41 again.
Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepare for the devil and his angels.
So the only way you get there is that you follow them. You can't be following the Holy Spirit if you end up with the devil. Impossible. You can't be preaching the good news if you end up with the devil. The holidays that you're keeping couldn't have been celebrating the Most High God, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, if you're with the devil. See how that works? Watch this. Verse 42.
For I was hungered, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty.
Gave me no meat.
You gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink.
I ain't giving them nothing. I'll go down there. I give some money to some dogs. I help the cats. But I ain't giving them poor black people nothing, right? I ain't going down there to the Mexican boy. I ain't giving them nothing. They nothing. They gang members, right? Go ahead.
I was a stranger, and ye took me not.
No, you Mexicans, you Latinos ain't coming in here, right? You remember when we was down there in New Orleans? You remember how the Gentile neighbors were sitting out there with guns, wouldn't let us come into your neighborhoods? Wouldn't let us come into your evacuation camps? No, you ain't coming in here. Remember that? Remember doing the New Deal when they were sending all these food down here, down south, to feed the hungry people? How the Gentiles were taking it and wouldn't let our people starve? You think the Most High forgot it, right? You went to church on Sunday, you thought it was all good. Nah. Go ahead, watch this.
You took me not in, naked, and ye clothed me not, sick, and in prison, and ye visit me not.
Didn't want to come because I deserve to be there, right? Even though you put the crack in my neighborhood and then put the laws on the books and made doing drugs a criminal offense, right? You're a criminal, right? But those who are on pain pills, yeah, that's a disease now, right? Now addiction is a disease. You see that? You said how when crack we was criminals, but now they show people, oh, addiction is a disease. See how the narrative changed? You thought the Most High forgot about that? He hasn't. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Mishpah, good seeing you on with us tonight. Watch this. Verse 44.
Then shall they also answer him, saying, Lord, when saw when thee a hunger, or a thirst, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? Then shall he answer them, saying, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye did it not to one of the least of these, ye did it not to me.
So when you wouldn't help out the true Israelites, Yeshua said, you wouldn't help me out.
And these shall go away into everlasting punishment.
Nah, they're going to get grace, man.
Into everlasting punishment.
Nah, he's going to forgive him, man, because he understands.
Go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into life eternal.
You see that? So that's what you give to your Gentile friends. You show them it's up to them. They got their own choice. Turkey. Now, so that's what you can give to your Gentile friends. All right. That's what time is it? Let's try to see if we can slip in with a couple more. I'm probably going to have to say some of these the next week. Yeah, I know I promised my bro I was going to get this in, so I got to get this one in right here. Okay, he says, Elder, me and my friends were just hanging out the other day. He has in parentheses, males and females, age range from early 30s to mid 20s. And this meme came across my timeline. Now, let me read you the meme. This is the meme right here. It says, I've been single for so long, somebody asked me who I was with, and I said Sprint. I'll read that again. He said, I've been single so long, somebody asked me who I was with, and I said Sprint. Right? So let me read the question again. It's funny, right? He said, Elder, me and my friends were just hanging out the other day, and this meme came across my Ox timeline. After we all laughed, most of us realized that we could actually relate. Do you have any advice on how to, quote unquote, stay saved and still have a chance to date and possibly meet someone special? Because honestly, doing things the right way, according to the Bible, can be frustrating. That's cool. That's real. So he was like, that meme came across the timeline, saying, he said he'd been single so long. Then he asked who he was with. He said Sprint. Right? So my little aunt said he wanted some advice on how to, stay saved and date, because everybody else out there fornicating doing what they do. And you want to do it the right way. So let's go to Hebrews 13. I need you to hold that and get Sirach 23. Okay. So I know it is a difficult task, remaining celibate, because sometimes you meet people, they say they're in Christ. Some of them even say they're in the truth. They even say they're in the truth, but then, hey, being celibate and all these things, everybody ain't really with doing. You know what I'm saying? So, it ain't, everybody say it, but until, it's a whole different thing when you actually in it. So let's get Hebrews 13, Hebrews 13 and Sirach 23. Let me get that Hebrews 13 verse 4.
Marriage is honorable in all.
So marriage is always honorable. Go ahead.
And the bed undefiled.
And whatever you do between your husband and your wife, not all this. Well, I believe in what is that? Polygamy, something, no, not even that. It's another thing now. Well, that's the technical term, but they got a new fancy word for it now, polymetrics or something like that. Yeah, wickedness. You just boil it all down in wickedness, where you can just have multiple girls in there, and girl with it, and you with it, and all that. Now, read that again. He says, what?
Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled.
Between one man and one woman, go ahead.
But whoremongers.
But who?
Whoremongers and adulterers.
And adulterers.
God will judge.
Most High will judge. So that's some advice for you. That's something to hold on to. The whoremongers and people who cheat on their husband and wife, the Most High will judge. Okay, let's go to Sirach 23. I want to give you a couple warnings, and then we're going to try to encourage you. You know what I'm saying? To hold on, because also what happens a lot of times is that you will. What happens is you will be like, you will tell yourself like, okay, what's that? Huh? No. That got my card. Yeah. What I'm trying to say is, yeah, that sometimes you will tell yourself like, yo, this is just, I'm gonna do this just one time and I'm gonna get it right. Nah, it's a trap. And I'm about to show you this here in Sirach 23. Let's start at verse 5.
Turn away from me vain hopes and concupiscence, and thou shalt hold him up is desirous away always to serve thee.
So Sirach was asking, like, man, turn me away. That concupiscence is a strong sexual desires. He said, turn me away from that. Well, I'm being led by everything in my flesh, so I can serve thee properly. Go ahead, verse 6.
Let not the greediness of the belly nor lust of the flesh take hold of me, and give not over me thy servant until a imputed mind.
That imputed mind is where you're thinking thoughts and living things that will be disrespectful to the Most High, that will lead you away from the Most High, where you don't have any respect for anybody. Because once you start seeing women as just a tool to please your body, that's all they will be. As you start seeing men, ladies, as just a means to pay your bills or bring you some type of companionship or just bring you some type of physical satisfaction, that's all they will ever be. You don't ever want to see them from that perspective, right? Let's go down to verse 16.
Two sorts of men multiply sin, and the third will bring wrath.
Right.
A hot mind is as a burning fire; it would never be quenched till it be consumed.
That person with a hot mind is the one with a temper problem. Okay, you get mad, jealous, and you always blanking out. Okay, you don't want to be that person, because what's going to happen is you're going to always got to get the last word in, the last action. You're always going to feel like someone outshining you. And this is going on a lot of times when you're out here in this world, and you get caught up and think somebody outshining you. You mad and you be quote unquote envious of that and coveting what they're doing. You don't want to be that. Go ahead.
A fornicator, a fornicator in the body of his flesh would never cease to have kindled a fire.
You see that? So when you're a fornicator, ladies and gentlemen, and you're used to satisfying yourself with sex, it's never going to go away. It ain't going to be no one time. Okay, you would tell yourself that, but it ain't going to just be one time. Okay. So you don't even light that fire. Don't even go down that road, right? Verse 17.
All bread is sweet to a whoremonger.
Read that again.
All bread is sweet to a whoremonger.
All bread is sweet to a whoremonger. You understand what that means? So when you're a whoremonger, anything I almost said it to you. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't what you want. Because you won't be able to function in this world. But listen, women are gonna always be beautiful. Okay, men, they're gonna always be beautiful. It don't make no difference what type of woman she is, how she look, how she living. Read it again.
All bread is sweet.
All bread is sweet.
To a whoremonger.
Ladies, you better, be careful. You may look right, but listen, a lot of that sweet bread and that sweet meat is tainted. And when you always going chasing after it, we can go in a little bit and it ain't the Sabbath. Hey, you know, with spiritual diabetes, I'm gonna leave it at that. And read that again. Read that last part.
He will not leave off till he dies.
And he will not leave off until he dies. So you don't never want to become that person, because that's what you will end up always. You will never be able to have a successful and committed relationship, because all bread is sweet to the whoremonger. So let's go to Proverbs 18, and let me show you how to get this thing done. Proverbs 18 and Proverbs 3. Proverbs 18 and Proverbs 3. Proverbs 18 and Proverbs 3. Proverbs 18, verse 22.
Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing.
So gentlemen, when you find a wife, you find it a good thing. But ladies, realize that you already know where I'm going. But in order to be found by a good man, ladies, you must be a good woman. You already know what I need, chapter and verse. No, Sirach. Here, Nick. Read that before you read that again. Get that Proverbs. Read that first part of Proverbs 18:22 again.
Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing.
Now read that.
Sirach 26 and 23.
Bring it out.
A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man.
So, ladies, if you're wicked, you will not get that good man. Men, if you're wicked, you won't get no virtuous woman. That is confusion. You think that you're gonna be you can be a terrible guy, get a good woman, and she's gonna help you be good. Or you can be a wicked man and this good man gonna help you turn it around. Nah, it don't work like that. You have to turn it around with the Most High first. We're gonna show you how to turn it around. Go ahead.
But a godly woman is given to him.
But give it to him
that feared the Lord.
That feared the Most High. Now back to Proverbs 18:22.
Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing, and attaineth favor of the Lord.
So that means that in order for you to get that good woman, man, you must be in a favorable position to obtain favor. And ladies, in order to be found, if he's obtaining favor and getting you, that means you're in a favorable position to be found. So there's work that has to be done prior to being found, and to find her. Ladies, get off to the dating websites. Men, get off the Instagram. Stay out them DMs. Right? Let's show you how to work this thing out. Let's go to Proverbs 3. This is how you obtain your favor. Ladies, this is how you become favorable to be found. Proverbs 3. And so when you read that first part, my son, say my son and my daughter. Proverbs 3, verse 1-4.
My son, my daughter, forget not my law.
See how that starts with the law? It starts with the law and everything. Read it again.
My son, my daughter, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments.
Let thine heart keep my commandments. Go ahead.
For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee.
That's what everybody want, right? Go ahead.
Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck,
right?
Write them upon the table of thine heart.
And the good thing now that we have the Holy Spirit, that the Most High has written his law on our hearts for us. Go ahead.
So shalt thou find favor.
So then you will find favor
and good understanding in the sight of God.
In the sight of the Most High.
And man.
And man. So it all goes back to being what thus said, and that's how you will obtain it. Last question for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna have to say the rest of these for next week. Should Israelites start putting up the true image of Hamashiach in their assemblies? Christian churches promote the false image. Why don't we promote how he really looks? Should Israelites start putting up the true image of Hamashiach in their assemblies? Christian churches promote the false image of promote the false image. Why don't we promote how he really looks? I love my people, my men here at Better Day Ministries, because it seems like every time I read a question, I wish y'all could see it. It's so great. Let's go to Exodus 20. I don't have to say it. Y'all already know where I need to go. You understand? Let's go to Exodus 20. That's why you got to keep men around you that know them scripts. Got it. Let's go to Exodus 20 and Romans 8. Okay. I'm going to read that question again. Should Israelites start putting up the true image of Hamashiach in their assemblies? Christian church promote the false image. Why don't we promote how he really looks? For those who don't know how he really looks, you go to Revelations 1, verse 13 through 15. Now, Exodus 20, verse 4.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
Any graven image.
Or any likeness.
Or any likeness.
Of anything.
Of anything.
That is in heaven
that
above.
That is in heaven above. Now, let's go to Romans 8:34. Let's see where Hamashiach's at. Let's see if he's in heaven. Let's see.
Who is he that condemneth? It is Hamashiach that died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, rather, that is risen again, who is even at the right hand of God.
Where?
At the right hand of God.
Where's the Most High?
Who also make an intercession for us.
So the Most High is in heaven. The Shai is in heaven. Let's go back to Exodus 20. Exodus 20.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
Any graven image.
Or any likeness.
Or any likeness.
Of anything.
Of anything.
That is in heaven.
That is in heaven. Period. The white Serge Borgier is wicked. And the black one is wicked as well. No images at all. We have to let our people know who he is through the scriptures, and they will be able to understand who he is by faith. So if you have any image, any t-shirt talking about this is the real Jesus, that's idolatry. No images, no statues, no paintings, no stained glass windows of any image. If you have a black Christ up in your assemblies, on your t-shirts, statues, black Christ chain, anything, you're just as wicked as the Gentiles with their false image. Okay? Period. Straight up. Now, so tonight we'd like to give all praise and honor to Ahaya Bar Hashem Yeshaya, Royal Walk, for all that took place here tonight. We pray and hope that these questions tonight was a blessing to you, that they was able to edify you and enhance your journey. Sorry for those questions that we didn't get a chance to get to. We try to keep this to an hour and a half, but we kind of ran over. But I promise you that we will get back to your questions next week, next Tuesday. Make sure you join us this Friday at 8 o'clock for the Sabbath lesson. And we'll see you then. And just know that we love you, know that we're praying for you, and know that we're here for you. And if anything needs to be answered, we will answer those things offline. We just know that we love you, and we ain't gonna change. We're here for you. Continue to be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding to the work of the Most High. Higher. Kwame Yasharada. Shalom. All right.
It's your favorite eye. Only get your favorite.
That ain't what I mean.
Yeah.
One side, but I hate that though.
Yeah, that's cool.
Taylor made my room. Can't find his cousin. Who style they boots? No word is cousin. Smuggling is true. Trying to make it through cousin. Run around with that proof.
Them friends I rock
Custom made. Defenses I rock custom made. About 12 songs they custom made. About 12 songs they custom made. Workforce, I'm a workhorse. If who a word, take a big voice. I'm not the one, I'm a decoy. A soldier ready for a deploy. I'm a man, not a D-boy. Build up, I don't destroy. Rights living what I enjoy. Kick it clever, Bruce Leroy. Get the dark and get my light on. On the spritz, brother, right on. Forever word, keep a sight on. Get a week and put the mic on. Sharp sword for a python. Sweet living, lead tight one. It's a dose of some missing. A correction, not a compliment. Big brute facts up. Got the back on the surface. Rule out the roof. Couple fingers in the dude. Y'all, we manage it. The faint heart stay vanishing. 613 mannequin. Mighty one stuff in the man. You're not your who, I ain't standing down. Take the law, ain't no playing around. Boss man ain't the one for it. They're not a law, that's a man down. You can see it on